Oh, don't worry, we got a tour guide. We got a tour guide, y'all. Don't trip, we got a tour guide. This is a nice little hike, man, at Angel's Landing, man, in Utah, man. So much great stuff left behind. So many breadcrumbs. And Udall. Shalom. Kwam Yashara. Oh, we getting our land, my people. We getting our land. Hey, hey, hey. Jay Still in the family. Love you. We love you. No, we got a tour guide, y'all. So fall back, relax, vibrate, activate. We are going to get into the Zephaniah. When Jay hits me up and is like, man, you got to share this with the people, with the community. You know, you're getting that wake-up call right from your mountains and right from your trees. And that is our unity. So fall back. Let me do all the work. Let me do all the work while you enjoy this virtual hike in 432 Hertz. Angel's Landing. Zephaniah. When mountains were trees. Every stone is alive, every rock is a organism. Oh man, here's where it gets icy. Oh man. Our tour guide, man, where you taking us? Where you taking us? Let's get this Zephaniah. Flow with it. The word of Haya that came to Zephaniah, son of Cushi, son of Gedaliah, son of Amariah, son of Hezekiah, during the reign of King Josiah, son of Aman of Judah. I will sweep everything away from the face of the earth, declares Haya. I will sweep away man and beast. I will sweep away the birds of the sky and the fish of the sea. I will make the wicked stumble, and I will destroy mankind from the face of the earth, declares Haya. Well, we know who mankind is, right? Kind of man. Ish, manish. And I will stretch out my arm against Yahudah and against all who dwell in Jerusalem. And I will wipe out from this place every vestige of Baal and the name of the priestlings, along with the priests and those who bow down on the roofs to the host of heaven, the celestial, and those who bow down and swear to the Lord, but also swear to Malgam, and those who have forsaken Haya, and those who have not sought Haya, and have not turned to your Creator. Be silent before your Creator, for the day of Heya is approaching, for Heya has prepared a sacrificial feast. He has hidden his guests, purify themselves. And on the day of Heya's sacrifice, I will punish the officials and the king's sons and all who don a foreign vestment. All who don a foreign vestment. And I will punish on that day everyone who steps over the threshold, who fill their master's place with lawlessness and fraud. In that day there shall be, declares Heya, a loud outcry from the fish gate, and howling from Mishneh, and a sound of great anguish from the hills. The dwellers of Mashtesh howl, for all the tradesmen have perished. All who weighed silver are wiped out. At that time I will search Jerusalem with lamps, and I will punish the men who rest untroubled on their leaves, who say to themselves, the Lord will do nothing good or bad. Their wealth shall be plundered, and their homes laid waste. They shall build houses and not dwell in them, plant vineyards and not drink their wine. The great day of Heya is approaching most swiftly. Hark, the day of Heya, it is bitter. There a warrior shrieks. That day shall be a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of calamity and desolation, a day of darkness and of deep gloom, a day of dense clouds, a day of horn blasts and alarms. Again, the fortified towns and the lofty corner towers I will bring distress on the people, and they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Creator. Their blood shall be spilled like dust, and their fat like dung. Moreover, their silver and gold shall not avail to save them on the day of the Creator's wrath, in the fire of his passion. The whole land shall be consumed, for he will make a terrible end of all who dwell in the land. Gather together. Gather, O nations, without shame, before the day that the decree is born. The day flies like chaff before the fierce anger of Heya overtakes you, before the day of anger of the Creator overtakes you. Seek Heya, all you humble of the land who have fulfilled his law. Seek righteousness, seek humility. Perhaps you will find shelter on the day of the Creator's anger. Indeed, Gaza shall be deserted, and Ashkelon desolate. Ashdod's people shall be expelled in broad daylight, and Ekron shall be uprooted. Ah, nations of Cherethites who inhabit the sea coast, there is a word of Heya against you, O Canaan, land of the Philistines. I will lay you waste without inhabitants. The sea coast, Sharah, shall become an abode for shepherds and folds for flocks, and shall be a portion for the remnant of the house of Judah. On these pastures they shall graze their flocks. They shall lie down at eventide in the houses of Ashkelon. For the Lord their God will take note of them and restore their fortunes. I have heard the insults of Moab and the jeers of the Ammonites, who have insulted my people and gloated over their country. Again, I have heard the insults of Moab and the jeers of the Ammonites, who have insulted my people and gloated over their country. Assuredly, as I live, declares Heya, the God of Israel, Moab shall become like Cedar, and the Ammonites like Gomorrah. Clumps of weeds and patches of salt and desolate. Evermore the remnant of my people shall plunder them. The remnant of my people shall plunder them. The remnant, Heya, of my people shall plunder them. The remainder of my nation shall possess them. The remainder of my nation, my remnant, my people shall plunder them, shall possess them. That is what they'll get for their haughtiness, for insulting and jeering at the people of Heya. Heya will show himself terrible against them, causing all the gods on earth to shrivel, and all the coastlands of the nation shall bow down to him, every man in his own home. You Cushites too, you shall be slain by my sword. You Cushites too, you shall be slain by my sword. And he will stretch out his arm against the north and destroy Assyria, and will make Nineveh a desolation, a reed as the desert. In it flocks shall lie down, every species of beast, while jackdaws and owls roost on its capitals. The great owl hoots in the window, and the raven croaks on the threshold. And he has stripped into cedar work bare, for he has stripped its cedar work bare, incorruptible wood. Stay tuned, because we're going to get some of the health benefits of cedar, the natural health benefits of cedar. So as you look, our tour guide takes us up and down this mountain. We see some ice. Hey, you're going to see some pines. You might see some cedars. Right? This is near Cedar City, right? We're in verse 15 of Zephaniah chapter 2. Is this the gay city that dwelt secure, that thought in her heart, I am, and there is none but me? Alas, she is become a waste, a lair of wild beasts. Everyone who passes by her hisses and gestures with his hand. Where is it? Where are the cities, and where are the people that afflicted you? And what is the fate of those that afflict you today? Chapter 3. Ah, sullied and polluted and overbearing city, she has been disobedient, has learned no lesson, has not trusted in Heya, has not drawn near to her God. The officials within her are roaring lions, her judges are wolves of the steppe. They leave no bone until morning. Her prophets are reckless, faithless fellows. Her priests profane what is holy. They give perverse rulings. But Heya, in her midst is righteousness. He does no wrong. He issues judgment every morning as unfailing as the light. The wrongdoer knows no shame. I wiped out nations, their corners. Towers are desolate. I turned their thoroughfares into ruins with none passing by. Their towns lie waste without people, without inhabitants. I thought that she would fear me, would learn a lesson. I thought that she would fear me, would learn a lesson, says Heya, and that the punishment I brought on them would not be lost on her. Instead, all the more eagerly they have practiced corruption in all their deeds. But wait for me, says Heya, for the day when I arise as an accuser, when I decide to gather nations, to bring kingdoms together, to pour out my indignation on them, all my blazing anger, indeed, by the fire of my passion, all the earth shall be consumed. For when I will make the peoples pure of speech, so that they all invoke Heya by name and serve him with one accord. So we're talking about our English speech, our language. Again, love to Israel's redemption, love to M.A. Truth for continuing to break down the language. Dr. Yafa Bey, all these great sisters, man, making it happen. So they're breaking down the vibration of the language. The Most High says, the Creator says, for then I, Heya, will make the peoples pure of speech. So we'll get our language, we'll get our vibration back. It will be activated in your DNA, in your energy, in your awakening. You will speak again. Pure water, pure speech. Drop, pure, drop. So that they all invoke Heya by name When you're impure of speech, you will know the Creator's name and serve him with one accord. From beyond the rivers of Cush, my suppliants shall bring offerings to me in fair Puzai. In that day you will no longer be shamed for all the deeds by which you have defied me, for then I will remove the proud and exultant within you, and you will be haughty no more on my sacred mount. But I will leave within you a poor, humble folk, and they shall find refuge in the name of Aya, the remnant of Israel. But I will leave within you a poor, humble folk, and they shall find refuge in the name of Aya. Hey man, much love to our tour guide. I told you we had one, you know. I told you they gonna help us right now, man. They gonna help us. What do you got to offer us? You got to offer us a tour? All right, well, show us around. Show us, tour guide. This ain't Hijack City. But if you got to leave Hijack City, then at least show us around our own neighborhood again. Our own migration patterns again. All right, so we're going to, don't fall, y'all. We're going to go back down the mountain, but we do got a tour guide. He's working hard, you know what I'm saying? We got him out the city. Closest thing we could find, you know, in a short time. So it's all good, man. Show the tour guide some love. He got his water. Now he's going to bring us on back down the mountain, man. Let's go ahead and dismount from the Zephaniah, chapter 3. Love to Jay, Stu, Mario, the family. You know what I'm saying? They feed me. I'm getting fed. You know what I mean? And I take this nourishment, I give it right to you. All the earth shall be consumed, for then I will make the people pure of speech, so that they all invoke Aya by name and serve him with one accord. From beyond the rivers of Cush, my suppliants shall bring offerings to me in fair Puzai. In that day you will no longer be shamed for all the deeds by which you have defied me, for then I will remove the proud and exultant within you, and you will be haughty no more on my sacred mount. But I will leave within you a poor, humble folk. Listen up, so-called Negro, so-called Indian, indigenous, for I will leave within you a poor, humble folk, and they shall find refuge in the name of Aya, the Creator. Call on your Creator. Say, Creator, I love you. There is nothing in between me and you. In the name of the Creator, Aya, existence, establishment, the remnant, you, the remnant, you, the remnant of Israel, shall do no wrong and speak no falsehood, and a deceitful tongue shall not be in their mouths. Only such as these shall graze and lie down, with none to trouble them. Be hijack free. Speak no wrong. Speak no falsehood. No deceitful tongue. Keep it trill. Real spill. Only such as these shall graze and lie down, with none to trouble them. Do you believe it? Do you believe if you're hijack free that nothing will trouble you? So get there. Shout for joy, fair Zion. Cry aloud, O Israel. Nah, the world. Cry aloud, O Israel. Shout for joy, fair Zion. The remnant of Israel. Nah, the world. The whole world. All hijacks allowed. No hijacks allowed. All they can do is be tour guides. Unless they choose up. They better choose up fast, in the name of Aya. But the remnant of Israel shall do no wrong and speak no falsehood. A deceitful tongue shall not be in their mouths. Only such as these shall graze and lie down, with none to trouble them. When we look at these people, are they troubled? This should be you. I'm not saying that you should be sliding down ice on mountains if you don't want to. I'm not saying that this is the best time to hike angels landing in the ice. This is kind of what they on. But, you know, I want you to get a glimpse of folks that are not troubled. This should be you. The energy of being not troubled is you. Everyone's hijacking your frequency. They go here and they just enjoy it, and they enjoy the energy of the crystal silicon trees of the mountains. They enjoy the energy of the crystals. And what about you? You're stuck in a rut. You're stuck in the cities. You're late for work. You're catching the bus here. You're getting jammed up with taxes and mortgages and all kinds of jam ups trying to keep up with the Joneses. And I ask you, where's your land? You deserve it, right? Don't you deserve land? Don't you deserve to not be troubled? Well, then speak no falsehood, do no wrong, have no deceitful tongue. Only these shall graze and lie down, with none to trouble them. Shout for joy, fair Zion. Cry aloud, O Israel, Kwam Yasharala. Last part. Rejoice and be glad with all your heart, fair Jerusalem. Nah, the world. Everything we're saying is speaking to a tribe of people. And anybody hijacking you, they're doing it because they don't like a tribal creator. They want the creator to be, oh, it's just about everything and everybody. But they're not reading that from anywhere. But you're reading right here when you got your Zephaniah open, chapter 3, verse 14. Rejoice and be glad with all your heart, fair Jerusalem, fair Jerusalem, fair Jerusalem. Kwam Yasharah. Hey, has annulled the judgment against you. Annulled. So if you annul your marriage, that means you out of it. If the Creator has annulled the judgment against you, fair Jerusalem, that means he's out of that. He's out of judging you. Your judgment is over. Just choose up and be troubled no more. Go home. You don't got to be jammed up no more. We're just setting an example of how we can do this, man. We came together, man, put up some funds quickly. Now we are on our way to getting our 10 acres in Utah. Soon. Very soon. Now, how about that? Now, is that a remedy and a recipe that anyone across the nation or whatever can do? Yes. And to start building up their indigenous land, to start getting their indigenous life, to start going towards the mountains and being hijack free, off the grid, however they want to get down. Everybody can do it. And if you want to support what we do, click the link below and support J Stu. I said if you want to support what we do, click the link below and support J Stu. Love you, man. I love all y'all. All y'all. Let's go. In that day, let's back it up. Rejoice and be glad with all your heart, fair Jerusalem, for Heya has annulled the judgment against you. Your judgment is over. The judgment that is to come is the nations, not fair Jerusalem. Fair Jerusalem has been judged in front of the nations. The nations have watched fair Jerusalems get massacred, manhandled and mutilated, lynched, raped, eaten. All that has been the judgment of fair Jerusalem. But the Most High, it says, rejoice, Jerusalem, Israel, Negro. Rejoice, Negro. Rejoice, indigenous. Rejoice, seed of the Creator, energy of the Creator. You are nameless. You have no name. You're everything. How do you give something that is everything a name? You're the image of the Creator. You're the energy waking up as promised. You feel it, right? You know when you're being jived. You know this ain't no jive. Feel this, man. Feel your mountains. Feel your trees. Love them again. They once fed you. Rejoice and be glad with all of your heart, Fair Jerusalem, Heya, has annulled the judgment against you. He has swept away your foes. Israel's sovereign, Heya, is within you. You need fear misfortune no more. So-called Negro, you need fear misfortune no more. Kings and queens, you don't got to fear being misfortunate anymore when you're hijacked free. In that day, this shall be said to Jerusalem, have no fear, O Zion. Have no fear, O Zion. Have no fear. That's not your frequency. This is your frequency, O Zion. Being troubled no more. Let not your hands droop. Wake up. Your God, Heya, is in your midst, a warrior who brings triumph, triumph, triumph. He will rejoice over you and be glad. He will shout over you with jubilation. He will soothe with his love those long disconsolate, without any console. Those that have been long without anything to console them, any promise of security for their families. He will soothe with his love. I will take away from you the woe over which you endured mockery. Niggas, you endured mockery. What did they call you? What have they done? They took it all. They took your land. They took your gold. They took your children. They told you came from somewhere else, and so they can keep taking things in perpetual servitude. They took your freedom forever? No. The Creator says, I will take away from you the woe over which you endured mockery. At that time, I will make an end of all who afflicted you. At that time, so-called Negro, the Creator will make an end of all those who afflicted you. Line them up. Take those into captivity whose captives you were, right? Isaiah 14. And I will rescue the sheep and gather the strayed, and I will exchange their disgrace for fame. And the Most High said he's going to raise you and exalt you in the face of the heathen, right in their face bone. He's going to raise you up and exalt you. The Most High said at that time, I will make an end of all who afflicted you, and I will rescue the sheep and gather the stray. And I will exchange their disgrace for fame and renown in all the earth. At that time I will gather you, so-called Negro, Israel, tribes. I will gather you, tribes. And at that time I will bring you home. Open your eyes. Look at the potential when mountains are trees. Man, the entire Utah's for sale right now, man. Everything's for sale. Their stay was temporary. Yours is permanent. Not just here, but everywhere, baby. Not just here, but everywhere. But we will be assembling. We will be gathering. So turn your hearts towards Zion. Fair Zion. Fair Jerusalem. Let's get this last verse, man. I love y'all. Let's go. Verse 20. At that time I will gather you, and at that time I will bring you home. For I will make you renowned and famous. At that time I will bring you home, and I will make you renowned, Israel, and famous among all the peoples on earth. And I will restore your fortunes before their very eyes. Mosai said, I will exchange their disgrace for fame and renown in all the earth. All the disgrace you don't feel like you're good enough. You feel like you don't got enough. You feel like you can't get enough. You feel disgraced at every turn, at every corner. Everywhere you walk, everything you go. I don't care if it's high sedity. I don't care if it's a Richie richy place or not, you walk in and you still feel disgraced because you can feel that energy disgracing you, because it has always disgraced you. But that disgrace is gone. You say it is so because your creator said it so. And at that time I will gather you, Israel. And at that time I will bring you home, Israel. For I will make you renowned and famous among all the peoples on earth. When I restore your fortunes before their very eyes, says he. That is a full reading of the book of Zephaniah, chapters 1 through 3. Love again to my man Jay, for dropping this, man. Love to Mario, love to Shalise, love to Camellia, love to Vanessa Perkins, love to all those that are seeking the Creator, seeking to be hijack free. Doesn't mean you're there yet, just means that, you're going to try a little bit more this week to separate yourself from the negative vibrations. While we got a little more time, while we got a little more time, man, y'all go check the rest of this out. It's pretty dope, pretty dope. Love to our tour guide, the tour guide of the evening. Hijack of the evening. No, I'm just playing. Now, this is a good little joint. Dan Cedar. Go subscribe, man. Get some more hype drop. Y'all go check this out. It's a beautiful thing, beautiful thing. Oh yeah, love to Infinite Waters, man. This is something I always come back to just to get this nice, deep, calm feel, because there's so much heavy vibration going on right now. Relax, man. Whether you on our site, whether you support, Infinite Waters and any other drop, look at all this, all this 432 drop. You know what I'm saying? You got Bree Libra with the Spanish guitars. You got Daniel Nielsen with some Native American drums. You got Super Yogi with reggae therapy 432. So look, we didn't invent this. This is just frequency. This is energy. We can't patent frequency. We can't patent a wave. We're just sharing the wave. We want all radio stations to be in this frequency. We can't wait to come back and come with a full-time station with full-time 432 hertz. So we appreciate your patience, because it's never been done before. All what we're talking about ain't been done before. So that's why we know it's time to choose up. And love to Jay Stu, man. Love to Teach Me to Be Priestly. You know what I mean? Love to all the fam, man, that sends me this beautiful links, man. This is one that I'm just not getting to, man. So love to the familiar for this link. Western Red Cedar. Love to Western Red Cedar. Love to our Red Cedars. Why? Ask Teach Me to Be Priestly. Why? Ask Teach Me Why is love to the cedar. So, the cedar, clearly, what I'm saying, when you talk about the incorruptible wood and the shittim tree and all these, you're talking about cedar. You're talking about something that not only smells beautiful, but is a beautiful tree, a natural medicine. It's not about cutting down our trees or destroying them. It's about using the nurture, the nature of what is given. You know what I'm saying? If it's an apple tree, then we're, as long as it's a good tree, we can eat that apple, right? So certain trees have great medicinal purposes. You know what I mean? And it's good to know, so that you can heal yourselves. This is what the tree is here for, not to just look good, but to heal you, to nourish you, to help you build up your incorruptible temple, the same way Solomon's temple was built by these same trees. So their scientific name for this cedar tree, this red cedar, is Thuja plicata. Thuja plicata. All right, we'll call it cedar for now. Identifying the cedar. Cedar is a distinctive, tall, evergreen tree with a drooping leader, a wide buttressing base, and a fibrous, fluted trunk with gray to cinnamon red bark. Greenish yellow leaves are flat with opposite scales. Branches are often J-shaped, simple, round flowers bloom in late autumn and give the tree a golden appearance. A golden appearance. All right. So cedar seed cones have 8 to 12 scales. All right. So the largest cedar trees up to 19 feet in diameter. So that's just the trunk. All right, and 200 feet tall. So we're getting there, right? We're getting back to these trees that went all the way up, to the firmament, right? So some of the oldest trees are thought to be as much as 1,000 years old. So you're getting back to the root of it all when you get into the cedar, this incorruptible wood that just doesn't corrupt. Most High compares us to these trees. Go back, watch that Teach Me to Be Priestly drop. Where it grows, cedar thrives in moist soils along bottoms, flats, and mountain slopes. All right, go to your mountains. It prefers wet, misty forests and is very common on the west side of the Cascade Mountains from North California up to Alaska. It grows in wetter areas like the Cascades towards western Montana and Idaho. All right, as we know, we got Cedar City, Utah. So we're talking about a tree that it seems like it has its roots right here, right in the Americas. When and how to harvest. All parts of cedar are useful and highly valued, including the wood, bark, roots, branches, and leaves. Since whole books have been written about many uses of cedar, I will focus on ways to use the leaves. All right. I prefer to gather them in late summer or early fall, all right, when the weather is warm and their aromatic oil content is highest. That being said, you can use their evergreen leaves at any time of the year. I carefully prune small fan-like branches here and there so I do not leave a visible impact. So you got to be careful about how you prune them, just rip them apart, Leaves can be used fresh or they can be dried by bundling several small branches with rubber band, then hanging them or placing them on baskets in a dry place with good ventilation. Keep them whole and then crush them before you use them to retain the fragrant oil. Store in a paper bag or glass jar. So we're talking about getting the oils, cedar oils. And since the fam is out there, this is going to be possibly one of the entrepreneurial endeavors, having Drop Nation planted right there in Utah, being able to, come out with our own oils, with our own, powder, cedar powders and oils and different things. As you know, cedar has a lot of skin benefits as well. So whether it's oil form or the powder form or different ways, let's see what else we got. Salish names for western red cedar include long life giver, rich woman maker, and mother. So these are Salish names for the cedar. They call it long life giver. That's how important the health, medical, medicinal, healing benefits are of this natural cedar tree. Again, I'm just continuing with the cedar drop because I know Teach ain't gonna leave it alone. So I was just hanging on to this link and I said, let me just drop this, man. Let me just drop it. Sorry, so long life giver, rich woman maker, and mother. Northwest coastal native people have artfully fashioned grand log houses, swift and rot-resistant canoes, durable clothing, watertight baskets, cordage, tools, art, medicine, and many other things from cedar. It made possible the rich culture and historic wealth of Northwest coastal Indian people, Negro people, through providing for them from birth to death. How important are your trees? Your trees, your cedars, provided for you from birth to death. That's how important it is. Cedar bark is prized for its durability, flexibility, and water resistance. Like Teach said, it's the incorruptible wood spoken over and over again by the prophets. It is peeled from trees with straight trunks by making a single cut and pulling upward on the trunk. Strips can be as long as 27 feet and are carefully separated into layers. Soft fibers have been used for clothes, mats, napkins, and towels. So if you know what you're doing, man, you can have really Cedar City for real. I mean, you could be in 432, like for real, for real. Weavers create beautiful ornate cedar baskets and hats from straw strands of cedar bark. Man, can y'all please find a way to hook your boy up with a cedar bark hat? I would love a straw cedar bark hat, man. I mean, real spill. I don't know what I would do to get that, but that would be real dope, man. Outer cedar roots are dug and used in basket making. Branches were traditionally made into rope, fish traps, binding material, and baskets. Many native Negro people who do not have cedar trees on reservations gain access through state and federal land partnerships. They got to ask the corporation to get access to their sacred trees again, their incorruptible trees again. Protocols for gathering during the correct season, methods for gathering, and ways to honor the tree are practiced. All right. So it says when walking in the woods, you might notice missing strips of bark that can be new or very old. If done correctly, the tree continues to thrive. So again, you're not cutting down the tree or hurting the tree. You're stripping off some bark or pruning some of the leaves, you know what I'm saying, but doing it respectfully. The tree continues to thrive. Older cedar trees are rare and should be protected resources for native people since they are so significant to the culture. So these older cedar trees are sacred, man, and they should be left for the indigenous people who know how to do this stuff right. All right. Coastal native peoples use cedar leaf and bark for a wide array of illnesses. So that's the main part. The Most High gives us, you know, these things for meat, right? These things to nourish us, these things to heal us. The leaves were a popular internal and external medicine for rheumatism. I guess that's like arthritis. They have also been infused for cough medicine, tuberculosis, and fevers. The pitch was used as chewing gum. The pitch was used as chewing gum. The leaves were wonderful incense and are used in smudging for purification. So this is a purification tree. All right, so it can purify you in all these ways. Some tribes have used parts of cedar to bring on menstruation and for birth control. Wow. Wow. But this knowledge is highly protected, right? So you can use cedar for birth control. Wow. Wow. Let's go. Cedar is currently used for siding, interior finish, greenhouse construction, outdoor furniture, boat building, poles, and much more. It is rot resistant. Again, an incorruptible wood. The Shitta tree. And long lasting. If you travel through Olympia rainforest from Aberdeen north to the Mackay reservation, you will see many old cedar shake mills. Very few are still running since most of the old forests have been logged, cut down. All right, so you got the cedar leaf medicine. Cedar is a powerful antimicrobial. Cedar is a powerful antimicrobial. All right, against the bacteria, against the microbes. Reflect on where it lives. Cool, wet forests where fungi and molds thrive. When you scratch cedar leaves or cut the wood, strong essential oils are released. Listen up. This is dope. This is real. You see how they carefully cut and prune this particular leaf here? So cedar is a powerful antimicrobial. Reflect on where it lives. Cool, wet forests where fungi and molds thrive. When you scratch, so even in that fungi and mold, like Teach Me to Be Priestly broke down beautifully, you know what I'm saying? Even in that fungi and mold, it's still uncorruptible. You know, they can't get to it, so it's incorruptible. When you scratch cedar leaves or cut the wood, strong essential oils are released out the wood when you scratch it. These oils are cedar's medicine to repel insects, molds, fungi, bacteria, and viruses, which is what makes it healthy. While the lepers were able to rub it on their skin to, you know, combat leprosy, reverse it. Our ancestors discovered this long ago and used cedar's medicine topically and internally to ward off external forces. All 440. This wards off all 440. This is amazing. So the cedar leaf is a useful antifungal for skin and nail fungus. The tincture, infused oil, or salve can be used topically or on the skin and should be applied 2 to 3 times a day a week until the fungus disappears. Fungal infections are pernicious and need to be treated aggressively. You can also soak your feet in cedar tea by steeping a tea of dried cedar leaves in about 10 cups of hot water. Let the tea steep until it is warm, and then place it on a bowl or basin large enough for your feet. Soak your feet for 10 to 15 minutes. A nice activity when you are reading or watching television. What? Yeah, man. So you get a cedar foot soak? Is this play? All right, so you know what I'm saying? I'll just skim quickly, So cedar has antiviral properties that can help the body get rid of warts. It can be applied directly on the wart, man. So you can get the what? You got the healthy skin situation. Now check it. Cedar promotes immune function through stimulating white blood scavenging. Herbalist Adam Seller compares one type called macrophages to little Pac-Man. Remember that the old video game, right? So because they chew up pathogens and stimulate a special immune response. They can live 40 to 50 years and help us to break down our old self and build a new self. So you can, as you use this immune function, these macrophages, these little Pac-Man last 40 to 50 years on your body, and they help your body break down the old self and build a new self through stimulating our immune cells to fight infection, clean up debris, and denature cancer cells. We are keeping our tissues healthy for respiratory infections. You can steam with cedar 2 to 5 times a day. Adam Seller also recommends trying 5 drops of cedar tincture up to 6 times a day, along with adaptogen curves like devil's club, reishi, or figwort root, either Chinese or Western states. All right, call it scrofularia for chronic fatigue. All right, so you got some. All right, so caution. All right, we got a caution. Here's a small print. Cedar contains strong volatile oils, including thujone, a ketone that is known to be toxic in large quantities. So don't OD on cedar. All right, just use it when you got to. Cedar is a strong medicine and should be used with care. The dosage is usually low, and it is not used for long periods of time. It should not be used during pregnancy, breastfeeding, or kidney weaknesses. All right, that's just, that's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. So you got cedar respiratory steam. This is one of my favorite ways to fight the winter lung crud, including sinus infections and coughs. Here's why I love it. Cedar improves blood flow so that you can take in more oxygen. Oh. All right, so now we have something to help us get more oxygen, which is what we all need to get our power back, to get activated. So cedar improves blood flow so you can take in more oxygen, clear waste products, and get more nutrients to tissue. It activates immune cells, which directly fight microbes and also clean up the waste products of infection. Essential oils and cedars inhibit bacterial and fungal growth, so they stop this bacterial growth, right? All you need is a few sprigs of cedar, a bowl, scissors, a towel, and hot water for steaming. Cut the cedar leaf into small pieces until you have 1/2 inch to 1 inch of a cup in a medium-sized bowl. So you want to cut it something like this, right? Something like that. All right, what else? Pour boiled water over the cedar until the bowl is half full. Place your face over the steam at a comfortable distance and cover your head with a towel, just like they're doing right here. And they're just breathing it in. It's clearing the sinuses up. So they just took some cedar, a bowl, scissors, a towel, hot water. They cut the cedar leaf into small pieces until they had about a cup. You know what I'm saying? One of a cup in a medium-sized bowl. They pour boiling water over the cedar until the bowl is half full. They place their face over the steam at a comfortable distance and cover their head with a towel, and they breathe deep. Try to steam for at least 5 minutes. Pour more hot water in if necessary. Steam 2 to 5 times a day. For chronic coughs or sinus congestion, steaming more often may be necessary. Variations: other herbs, including fir needle, pine needle, eucalyptus leaf, rosemary, peppermint, yarrow, lavender, can also be added. So you can do a herb gumbo. Make it really crack. Clear yourself up. This is what I need, man. You can add 1 to 2 drops of essential oil if necessary. Eucalyptus helps to thin mucus. So the eucalyptus helps thin the mucus. Peppermint is anti-inflammatory, and rosemary stimulates circulation. This is great drop. Health drop, man. Dig on it. Again, eucalyptus helps to thin the mucus. Peppermint is anti-inflammatory, and rosemary stimulates circulation. Many essential oils, including lavender and those mentioned, have antimicrobial or immune stimulating properties. Man, all right. So then it gets into the cedar tincture. All right, cedar tincture can be used topically as a respiratory steam or internal medicine. All right, so you can get all the drop on that. Steps 1 through 5. Cedar oil. This deep green aromatic oil smells just like the forest on a warm day. My friend such and such makes the finest oil I've ever smelled, and she uses it in a body oil, lamp oil, furnish polish, and topical healing remedy. This is what I'm saying. If they're doing it, we can do it. We can do our own situation to where, we know it's benefiting us. All right, so this is, this great drop, and this is things that, you're seeing our manifestation. You're seeing the manifestation, this energy, all the drop, health drop, legal drop, you know what I'm saying, seed drop, we're getting all that, man. So you got the cedar oil. This is going to break it down, parts 1 through 5, and how to break down the oils. Let's do it real quickly, man, to make our dismount. Finely chop fresh cedar leaves and place them in a double broiler. If you do not have a double broiler, you can create your own by adding a little water to a large pot and then placing a smaller pot inside it. This helps to warm the oil gently so it does not overheat. 2. Place the cedar leaf in the smaller pot and just cover with extra virgin olive oil. You can use other rendered oils, including coconut, grapeseed, jojoba, or even lard if you prefer. No swine. Hijack. Dodge the hijack, yo. 3. Gently heat the oil so that it gets warm but doesn't boil. Turn the pot on and off several times throughout the day. Warm the oil for several days to a week so that it becomes dark green and smells strongly of cedar. Strain the cedar oil with muslin cloth. Compost the pressed leaf and place the oil in a glass jar. 5. Label and store in a cool, dark place. Cedar oil will usually last several years. So you do this once, you got it for several years. And you got these other variations of cedar, man. You get the incense. You got the Port Orford cedar. Man, you got yellow cedar. Other than the western red cedar, right? You got that. All right, so, let's just get this last part, man. That's just a little poem. All right, so you got the incense cedar. So this beautiful cedar thrives in both dry and wet landscapes from Northern California to Mount Hood in Oregon. While it does not grow wild in Washington, I'm including it because it has become a popular ornament tree. Incense cedar does not grow in flat sprays like western red and Port Orford cedar. It happens to have wild branches that turn in different directions, a wild hairdo of sorts. All right, it's like a wild hairdo. The cones look like a duckbill with the tongue sticking out, or a trident. Incense cedar is very fragrant and makes a beautiful smelling infused oil and incense. So when we get into our cedar drop, we actually start, You know, being indigenous, man, and doing indigenous things like the pottery and the oils and the powders and stuff like that. And you'll know the difference between not just any cedar, but the Port Orford cedar, the Western red cedar, the incense cedar. You see that incense look like a trident. Western cedar look like little nugs, and the Orford kind of has its own look to it, man. So, you know, you gonna dig on it, man. So, you know, I definitely need to get on this respiratory sting. You know what I mean? And these are just some of the, you know, cedar leaf medicine. We're just talking about medicine. We're talking about leaves. We're talking about herbs. We're talking about nature. We're talking about incorruptible trees. Incorruptible cedar trees. You know? So, hope you enjoyed that. I'll definitely leave the link so you know what's good. And, you already know where to go, man, to get all the latest and the greatest, to get all the real and all the spill. This ain't no funny business, man. Go check out Infinite Waters. Definitely keep enjoying the vibration. You know, we got our own vibration. You know how we do it. You know how we gets down. You know we got the vibe suites. And you know we love our family, man. J. Stu, Chameleon, V. Perkins, Shalise, and that great brother Mario out there, man, doing it every day for us. They do it every day for us. They're out there making it happen, being indigenous for you. Who you going to learn it from? All right, so keep on digging. Keep on supporting. You know what I'm saying? Again, all you got to do, just come right here for the drop. Come right here for the drop and drop it on them. And let the family know that this is a real thing, that you care. You know what I'm saying? So everything that we can do to keep dropping on our community, everything you can do to keep supporting our community, we're all working as one. We're all awakening. We're all returning. We're all making our exodus from concrete prisons to once again vibrate with our creator and sacred trees, man. Keep vibing and love to everybody that's been, you know what I'm saying, doing everything, you know what I'm saying, that we need. This is exactly what we need. We know where we're going, but we got what we need. And that's the beautiful thing about it, man. So, how we gonna do this today, y'all? How we gonna make our dismount? You know we like dismounts. You know we like dismounts. Y'all want to dismount on the floating islands of Lake Titicaca in Peru? It's a close second up, man, with some unidentified drop. Massive swastika found under ancient lake in Antarctica. I mean, you already know where to get the drop from, man. This is a great interview, man, with this Art Basil. I love to see artistic things, some more health drop, man, some more breakthroughs going on. I think we're good, man, right here with these floating islands. This is very incredible. And you already know where they got this from. So here's some people that are teaching you what you taught them once upon a time. I love y'all, man. Stay up, suit up. Enjoy the dismount. We'll be back.
Lake Titicaca. We are presently at Puno on the northern end of the lake in Peru, and we're about to get on a boat for a ride to what are called the Uros floating islands. Now the Uros are a people quite different from the Quechua and Aymara people that live in the area now. The Quechua go back possibly 2,000 years, as do the Aymara. But the Uro, whose actual origins are unknown, have been living on these floating islands for at least 3,000 years. Their origin is unknown, but some...
Now, this is going to be funny because they're going to get there. They're going to show you your basic hijack, your basic so-called Native American hijack image. So you know whoever they're talking about, whose origin is unknown, is not what they're going to pull up on. Because the people that was there when they got pulled up on ain't there no more. Now, these floating little islands, they're making themselves as they go. They last for like 30 years, and they keep building new ones with this straw. I mean, you got to see this shit. It's crazy.
Stories say that they came from the Amazon jungle area.
Amazon.
Supposedly, their blood type is quite different than most human beings. And so their origins are quite intriguing.
Just like you, Negro.
Now what you see are totora reeds on the left and right hand side. Totora is native to Lake Titicaca, as well as the coast of Peru, and also Easter Island, quite curiously.
Totora leaves.
The burning that you see in the background is actually a massive Totora fire that was probably set accidentally. Now, these islands are quite easy to get to from Puno. It takes about an hour to an hour and a half to get there, and right now we're coming up to an actual checkpoint where a toll is paid in order to visit these fascinating islands. The islands are indeed floating. They're made out of totora reed, which is cut from a distant area, and the large chunks are floated by boat. There you see a double-hull totora floating boat that could carry a sail. And now we're approaching one of the 80-something floating islands, and we're going to get off and walk around. Each one of these floating islands is an extended family. In the case of this one, 6 families live on the island, and because they live on a floating island, they pay no tax, as in income tax. Quite a few of them have day jobs in the city of Puno or elsewhere, but they're trying quite hard through tourism to be able to protect their culture. So here we...
All right, so clearly there's a culture going on. Are these the original people that are doing this from 3,000 years ago? Is there a recordation of these people doing this 3,000 years ago? What bones are they finding when they go that far back? So who's come after you? Who's pretty much just jacking your swag? But it is amazing that these little leaves can form islands. You hear them say that, they can last for about 30 years or so before it starts to sink, and they got to keep on doing it. And they got families living on each one of them. So they're just living on the water with straw-made islands that only last 20 years or so. I mean, it's weird. They got to keep it pushing, but they doing it. They ain't paying no mortgage, nigga. They mortgage free. But I mean, it's pretty dope.
We are. It's a little bit spongy when you walk around on the island, but I think they average about a meter thick or more, and they simply keep adding more of the totora reed onto the top in order to build it up, because they do start to sink, and each floating island lasts an average of 20 to 25 years. Of course, a few years before the island actually does sink, they do start making another island.
Wow.
So here you see almost everything is made out of the totora reed, including the houses. We saw an umbrella back there, and each one of these little buildings is for a specific use. One would be a bathroom, another would be a kitchen, another would be sleeping quarters. There you see a map of Lake Titicaca, and this is an explanation by a tour guide as to what we're seeing. And now she's introducing us to the mayor of the island. Yes, a mayor of 6 families. Each island has a mayor, and they have regular meetings in order to discuss the affairs of state. We're now seeing the local fish that exists and is the staple diet of the people. Also, millions of rainbow trout grow on the island. And here we see the process by which the totora is cut in order to move it. And again, as the islands begin to sink very slowly, then more and more of the very fibrous and hollow totora is put on top. It's not really hollow, but it has cells that keep the water out over an extended period of time. And here's an overview of the 80-something floating islands of the Uro people. So these are upcoming tours for 2017.
Double
Egypt
dismount. Gotta do it. Gotta do a double dismount. Because it just reminded me, man, that, this seems to be a growing situation. I mean, normally I'll kind of think about this every once in a while, but I'm kind of tuned into this, you know, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe we bugging. Maybe we're bugging. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's bugging and it's nothing. Or just maybe. Oh, just maybe. Maybe it's everything. We're going to find out. It appears really soon if it's nothing or if it's everything. But, you know, love to the team at WSO because they definitely are keeping their equipment fixed on this stuff. So check this out, man. I love y'all, man. We'll be right back with that Press of John 17. Love to you.
5:30 p.m. Facing obviously west-southwest. People, this is amazing. I've never seen anything like this before. Well, yeah, I have. Dozens of times over last year, but this is just, to me, it's extraordinary and unique in that the orange and red light sources in the sky are just moving retrograde every day, all over the place, in terms of the southern, not just the south anymore. I mean, I'm just facing west, slightly north. This is just about to be just amazing. I know it. Oh my gosh, what is that? And something's coming up on film in the middle of the blob on the left. I can't see it with the naked eye, but I can see it here.
Wow.
There.
You see this? Let's back it up. Keep your eyes over here. This is not the sun.
Oh my gosh, what is that? And something's coming up on film in the middle of the blob on the left. I can't see with the naked.
You see this right here? This is not the sun. This little, or this large, luminous, you get all this red cloud bouncing off this thing. The sun's over there. All right, let's back it up.
North.
All right.
This is just about.
The sun is here. Okay, the sun is setting over here. You're gonna see another object over here. Let's go.
To be just amazing. I know it.
You see it coming up over these trees right here. The sun is way over this way.
Oh my gosh, what is that? And something's coming up on film in the middle of the blob on the left. I can't see it with the naked eye, but I can see it here.
You see it all behind these trees.
Here.
Something is giving off a red, what they're calling a retrograde. You know, you see these stripes in the sky, these red stripes. It could be something, it could be nothing, but clearly it's something.
There it is. What in the world?
Wow. Seems as though they are getting ready for something on the East Coast. At least I'm noticing as my wife watches TV that they are running repeated tests of the EAS, Emergency Access System, or Emergency Alert System here in Virginia Beach. I've seen 3 in the last 15 minutes. So this was just dropped like hours ago. I mean, and, you know, independent people keep putting out, you know, their angles, their footage. They're all watching this Southwest, I guess, right? Now, remember we said about these Southwests and these East and the true Norths and the crossbones and the cross. And we know that they're calling this Jupiter. We know that they're calling this Nibiru. We know they're calling that the planet of the cross or crossing. We know they're calling that Jupiter. We know Jupiter is also Zeus. We know Zeus is also Zeus. We know Zeus is Jesus. And we know Jesus is the sun. And this is their sun. This is their planet of the cross, crossing. Crossbones, Sun, Apollo, Apollyon, Abaddon, Wormwood, collecting the keys to the bottomless pit. Stay up. Suit up. Choose up.